Hello, welcome to the channel. My name's CavemanAston and today I'm going to be showing you the way covers that I've put on my lathe. I'm incredibly lazy a lot of the time, but I also hate messes, so I thought the best way to sort this out is put some covers over the ways. That means all of the swarf that gets generated when I'm cutting all ends up on the big rubber pad and it's nice and easy to brush off. So I'm going to talk you through and show you the process I've done to make it work. Alright, so here we are up close and personal with a rather messy lathe. So we'll start with the very first bit that I did, which will do a quick time lapse part way through of me installing this. So what I've done, there are a couple of, on the edge here, on the original as you'll see, there's a couple of V-blocks that sit with I think a fabric underneath of some sort, and they sit over the sort of triangular bit here, and they then just slide back and forth with the fabric, and it keeps any swarf from getting into the actual the ways in the body here. So what I've done is I've just taken off the two little covers, pierced a hole through on two screw holes, and then replaced the screw with the little cover, but going through this rubber. So hopefully you can see that under there, but probably not. Yeah, so just here, took those off, lined this rubber up, and then pierced the hole through with a scribe, then just put these over and screwed it up, and that's what's holding this together. What I then did is on the actual body of the lathe here, there are two M6, possibly M8 holes, so it just so happened that they weren't used for anything, they're not interfering with anything, so I just cut a square strip of this rubber that I've brought from eBay, got it in the right sort of position, felt with my finger whereabouts the hole was, and just pierced the hole through in location. I then drilled it out with an M8mm drill, then just pushed this through, tightened it up with a washer, and then that holds that nice and solid. The bit back here and the bit here was slightly more complicated. I had to take one of these coach bolts, far too long, but the square slot here sits in the sits in the T-slot down here, just right, but the round section's too large. So what I've done is I've just put it in the mill and taken off two sides, so all four of these bolts now slot in and line up just right. Then stuck it in the lathe in the chuck like so, and just parted it off, which you'll see in the quick time lapse. And then all I've done is I've taken these bits of rubber, they have got a semicircle cut in this bit here so that this can actually still rotate. Looking at it right this very second, however, I have noticed I can't see the angle setting, so I may come back and revisit this to modify it again, and I could just cut the semicircle deeper so that I can see the angle setting for the compound slide. The bit on the back, again, it's got a semicircle cut out the back, and all I've done is I've just let it in place and pierced the hole through with a scribe, put the coach bolts in, and then put the rubber over the top, put a washer on, put a nut on, and all done. final bit, which is possibly not entirely needed, so I don't tend to find a lot of swarf builds up over this edge, but I've done it just in case, is I've just used some magnets. Because it's a big chunk of metal, I've got some old hard drive magnets, so fairly easy to come by if you've got some old hard drives that are broken. And I've just dropped them on, and it holds it tight enough, but still able to be taken out. One potential solution that I was looking at doing is if I remove that, there are two of the bolts here, these ones, and I think the same over here, go through and hold the body, whatever it is, the gearbox section up. So what I was going to do is I was going to machine my own bolts that would be the same length, but they would also have a stud that pokes out, so I could then just put a nut on top. However, for the moment I find that the magnets work just fine, and the whole thing, it's just a nice, neat, tidy solution. This may not have been the most exciting of videos, but for some people out there, I find it makes a world of difference on how easy it is to clean up. It stops a lot of mess getting into the ways. I mean, even with a little brush to be able to sweep it all down, once the oil gets on it, it can be really difficult to get out of some of the places. So I thoroughly recommend it. A couple of changes that I would make is spend quite a bit of time considering these bits, and especially this side bit. Had I thought about it, I would have made this longer, and I'll show you now. If you bring it all the way to the end, here, that is as far as this can go down to this end. What I would have done is I would have made this bit of rubber just about, what, another 2-3 centimetres longer, so it would have hit the, like the, whatever this is, the headstock. And it probably would have then meant I could have either had a smaller bit of rubber on here coming out, just to let it overlap a little bit. This is possibly a bit excessive, but I brought it, installed it, and I'm going to leave it for the moment. It does bunch up, but it is still out the way of the chuck enough that I'm happy to keep using it. And then, like this bit, like I've mentioned, it does cover up the angle setting for the compound. And then one other thing that I might consider doing is making a little guard just to go around the top here. Perhaps, I'm not sure. Let me know what you guys think. Hopefully, my next video, I will finally be finishing off the tripod holder. If anybody has got any advice on speeds and feeds for dovetail cutters, please do let me know in the comments. If you want to ask any questions, advice, for what it's worth, then please leave a comment. If you're enjoying the videos, if you find them useful, please consider subscribing, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Bye!